Hi everyone, today we're back to talking about Yuri and fan service, two of the things at the center of our heart's finest passions. Our first anime is titled A Sister Is All You Need, a fan service filled rom-com that I very much enjoyed, but it started off with a first episode that was over the top and had an opening scene that was a little disturbing. I mean, our first 2 minutes show a guy making out with his little sister and wiping his face with her panties before eating them. Luckily, none of these characters are the actual characters, so power through and continue on to see what's really going on. The following 15 minutes of that first episode aren't much better. We meet all of the characters at once instead of one character by episode, and we have to listen to them solve a bunch of lateral thinking puzzles that just didn't entertain me. But the anime gets much better once you get past that first episode. One of the pros is that the anime involves a 60-degree love angle in which two girls, Nayu Takani and Miyako Shirakawa, both have feelings for Itsuki Hashima. And there's even a scene where the girls get a bit close and physical. So who knows, maybe our love angle will become a proper love pizza. However, if a love angle isn't an exciting enough trope for you because you've seen it a million times and generally know which girl is going to come out on top, then there are plenty of other characters who either flirt a bit or develop genuine feelings and further complicate our web of relations. Another strength of the anime is that there's plenty of fan service, and I mean plenty. Let's take a moment to soak it all in. And by now I'm sure half of you have gone to start watching the anime, so for the half that stayed for the rest of the video, I appreciate you. Another strength that goes hand in hand with the fan service is that the characters are university students and light novel authors. So if you were worried about your anime waifu being 15, then rest assured, that's not a problem here. Lastly, the comedy of the show might be a strength if you're looking for something positive to kick back and relax with. We have a scene where a girl reads the titles of the main character's Ecchi game collection, an attack by old ladies at the hot springs, which is easily more terrifying than anything you'd find in Wonder Egg Priority, Miyako-chan, or Dead Man Wonderland, and of course we have the typical flirtatious and amusing interactions between Nayu and Itsuki, which are generally one-sided. But perhaps best of all are the borderline Yuri scenes that unfold, which leads us to our next anime, a Yuri anime titled Strawberry Panic, which also had a PS2 game that only released in Japan. Strawberry Panic begins as Nagisa Aoi transfers into and arrives at St. Miator's Girls' Academy at Astrea Hill, and blushes at the sight of all the elegant dew-eyed maidens present. And, like Zoro from One Piece, Nagisa immediately gets lost and stumbles across the most popular girl at campus, the étoile, Shizuma. Upon seeing Shizuma, Nagisa reacts by blushing and taking note of Shizuma's beauty. Then within moments, Nagisa receives a kiss that brings her to her knees. Well, that was fast. Now, the reason why Shizuma is an important character is because yes, she has that opening kiss scene, but also because she is an étoile, which means she represents all three of the girls' schools around Nagisa's campus. We have St. Miator's, a school of tradition and formality with Miyuki Rokujo as president. Spica, a school that excels in academics and sports led by President Shion Tamori. And St. Girls Larim, a school that kinda does its own thing with Chikaru Minamoto as its student body president. So, Shizuma mediates between all these schools since they all have different values and may occasionally butt heads. However, I gotta say, the beginning of the anime probably won't make you the biggest Shizuma fan. She literally says lines like, "If you see a pretty flower, you want to touch it. There's no deep meaning," which demonstrates that her kiss to Nagisa wasn't all that special. We also see her kissing a background character in episode 2 and smiling after being discovered, because apparently that's her kink. And we see her creeping around like a stalker around episode 3 or 4. Luckily, all of the other girls in the show are pretty cute and interesting. We have the three student body presidents I mentioned earlier, Chikaru Minamoto being best girl since she and her peers are so carefree and easygoing. And we have my favorite girl, Tamao Suzumi, who is Nagisa's roommate and makes Nagisa moan several times in episode 1 while taking her measurements. We also have Yaya, a raven-haired beauty who seems to be interested in the blonde beauty Hikari. But Hikari seems to be interested in Amane, the second most popular girl on campus. So we may have an NTR situation. Overall, I'd say this is an A-tier Yuri anime. I don't think it's an anime people would binge, but it's very enjoyable to watch at a moderate pace since there are 26 episodes available. And that concludes this video. Leave a like if you're looking forward to future anime recommendations, whether it's for Yuri or different genres. Comment to let me know what you think about the anime mentioned, or recommend similar anime for me to check out, and subscribe for anime, manga, gaming, card collecting, and figure unboxing content. Thanks for watching and see ya.